interception. Incomplete pass at the New York Giants 30.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, I don't think there's any way, in heck that the New York Giants, draft a quarterback, especially early on. All right, they got so many holes to fill. They're trying to find out about Daniel Jones, obviously. Tyrod Taylor they got. So, the Giants have, a couple capable quarterbacks. Not saying they're Aaron Rodgers or nothing, but they got a couple capable quarterbacks. And it's not like, Trevor Lawrence is going to be there at number 5. Andrew Luck's going to be there at number 5. John Elway's going to, that's not happening, okay? So, there's no way, we've got so many holes to fill and all that, I couldn't possibly say how Shane or Dable or anybody could want to take him like Malik Willis at number 5 or something. We'll sit him and it'll be a project, but, I can't see any way that's possibly going to happen. Now, but they have, the Giants obviously with Dable, the offensive, genius, hopefully. Kafka, right, from Kansas City. And then they got Shea Tierney, right, who came over from Buffalo, who was their assistant quarterback coach, who's now our quarterback coach, right? And maybe if those guys, because you got some, some good minds there, right? Good offensive minds, which is good. I said, unless they fall in love with somebody, like maybe a later on pick, right? I can't, honest to God, can't see anybody, these later on picks ever, blooming into a, like a Dak Prescott, somebody in the 4th round coming and wanting to be a really good starting quarterback. I don't see it, and I'm from the videos I'm seeing and the podcasts I'm listening to and all the articles I'm reading, I don't see anybody, But I said, unless they fall in love, with somebody, it might wind up being a decent backup. With maybe our 4th round or 5th round or maybe our 6th round pick. You need a quarterback. You need a decent backup quarterback. If they think one of them can work out as a decent quarterback, bring one in. Train him, teach him. And if you wind up keeping him, he'll be cheap. It's not like you have to pay. It's not like Tyrod Taylor, right? So, that's about the only way I see it possibly happening. And, as I said, I'm not even saying that whoever they're taking has to be a starter. So maybe, they see somebody who could be maybe a decent backup in the future, right? Now, the Giants were at Pickett's and Willis, their pro days, okay? And to see what, just to kind of see what they're like. Maybe, probably, just to see, if there's any kind of chance that somebody might be willing to trade up to maybe go get them. Just check them out, see what they're like. Also to be around the other teams, the other coaches, and all, talk and listen and see what they all have to say. Now, the Giants obviously pick number 5, pick number 7. In between them is the wild card, Carolina. Now they have an interesting situation because you got a Rule, all right, who's going to be year 3. Remember, he came in with Judge. All right, they both came in 2020. Now, Judge had a bad 2020, had a bad 2021. He's gone. Rule had a bad 2020. Rule had a bad 2021. He's still there. Yeah, he's on thin ice, okay? So the thing is now is that, they need help, okay? And they need a quarterback. The thing is that there's probably none of these quarterbacks can just take them and just, okay, there you go. You're the starter. We'll see you at the end of the year. if they do that, I mean, that's always a possibility. But if they do that, Rule would be, his third horrible season in a row. Chances are he might be gone. Right? What I was hearing, like on some podcasts, is that, Rule does not want to take maybe a quarterback. He wants to try to bolster the roster because he's trying to, help his job, save his job, so to speak. I mean, if he gets fired, he'll land on his feet someplace. If it's not in the NFL, he'll wind up back in college. I mean, he did a phenomenal job turning some college programs around in the college. So he'll wind up back on his feet. But he's just trying to save his job for right now. The thing is, the GM, what I'm hearing is like, maybe they might want a quarterback because they see we need a quarterback, right? The problem with that is that, if they draft a quarterback and he's not ready and all that and have a third horrible season, Wool's gone, all right, now you got the GM and you got, say, Malik Willis is now your quarterback, all right, now you have to go out and you got to find a coach to come in and say, oh, yeah, by the way, Malik Willis is your quarterback. And, some coaches might be like, yeah, I'm nuts, I'm good, no thanks, have a good one, So that might scare some guys away. I mean, you come in and, this is, by the way, is your quarterback, it's, the one thing is that with Dable and Shane came in, it's like, by the way, we like to give Daniel Jones as your quarterback, and they said, yeah, but this is like probably the last year. It's not like, okay, we'll have him for 2 or 3 years, and we'll say, no, I mean, it's probably his last year. So if there's, Daniel Jones doesn't pan out, probably gone, then they can get their own quarterback in here who they can mold and, take it from there. But I mean, the Panthers, that's a whole bit of a wild card there. Okay, does Rule want to bring somebody in who's not quarterback, NFL ready, just put him in there and, have a horrible season, but maybe get some experience for the next coach who comes in? Or do you want to, maybe get Malik Willis, put him on the sideline and let him, chart plays and, watch, see how it's done and all of that, which is a possibility. But then, there's a pick number 6. I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau could be there, a little Sauce Gardner on the side. You got, one of the offensive linemen could be there. You're going to pass on them to get a backup quarterback. I mean, possibly a future starting quarterback, but he might be a backup for this year. So that's a tough situation that they're in. Okay, so does so I'm saying, so does Carolina take a quarterback, or then it's all gamble. I mean, because you got the Falcons. Does the Falcons sit at number 8? Do the Seahawks sit at number 9, or do they try to jump all those teams and go to the Giants at number 5? Very, very interesting. I mean, it's like a poker hand. Right? It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, you can see it going either way. I mean, none of these quarterbacks is that elite, especially right now, where you can, where you could see teams jumping, like, trading up like crazy to try to get them. But you could see, one team, falling in love with somebody, and maybe, trying to jump up. So it'd be interesting to see. It's going to be very, very interesting. And remember, it's only about 4 weeks away, guys. Amazing how time flies, isn't it? So now, who's going to, and also, which one quarterback's going to be the first one to go? I mean, the 2 I'm hearing is Pickett and Willis. I mean, those are the 2 I'm in here. Now, so don't forget about the Saints at number 18 and the Steelers at number 20. Then you got the Commanders too. I mean, that's so weird saying it's the Commanders. But I can't see, them trading up with the Giants for a quarterback. I can't see the Giants. I will trade. Yeah, you're gonna get a quarterback that's gonna play against us and beat the crap out of us for the next 10 years. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I don't see that happening. But I said, but don't forget about them too. Right? They need a quarterback too. I mean, they got Carson Wentz, but I mean, I don't. He didn't. He kind of. Didn't play too well in Philly. Toward the end anyway. He had problems there last year, so I mean, that's not been very well for him this year. So we'll have to wait and see. So those two teams, they might also have to trade up too as well if they want to get a quarterback. The Saints and the Steelers. Now they're sitting kind of far back. So if they were to trade up with the Giants, like number 5, Giants could get a boatload of picks. That would be freaking awesome. Now you got Carolina. They need a quarterback, right? Falcons have Mariota. Okay. And a little theme going on here, right? Falcons, they got Mariota for 2 years. They got him for a 2-year deal. Okay. Seahawks have Drew Lock. Yeah, that's not happening. After 2022, he's a free agent. All right, so basically they got him this year. And then, I don't know where he's going to go after that. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not. I kind of doubt it, but, Then the Saints have Jameis Winston on a 2-year deal. All right. Then the Steelers, they signed Mitch Trubisky to a 2-year deal. All right. They also got Dwayne Haskins and Mason Rudolph. So they got like Trubisky, certainly not bad. He certainly has some upside to him. Yeah, but they got Mason Rudolph. They drafted him, and they thought he was going to be, replacing Ben. That's not happening. And they got Dwayne Haskins. That's not happening either there. But a lot of teams got guys on a 2-year deal. All right, so the Giants could be in a very, very good position to trade back, right? Get more picks, and maybe for next year's draft, right, when there will be some good quarterbacks coming out. Just in case Daniel Jones kind of fizzles out. All right, it doesn't work out when you're looking for a quarterback next year, right? And the Giants have a couple first-round picks, maybe a couple first, and maybe at the first for the next year if they got to move up and grab a quarterback, right? But then if you got Dable, you got Tierney, and you got Kafka, right? Those guys put their minds together, focus in on bringing in a quarterback. This guy, we can work with this guy. Bring him in if it takes him a year or two or whatever, but then mold them, and that might really could be really, really good. I said, the Giants also, once again, they have Tyrod Taylor on a 2-year deal. Now the thing is with that is you got obviously for this year these guys that are signed for 2-year deal, and for next year. So it's kind of like they're holding the torch. While they figure out what they got, and they bringing somebody in or whatever like that. And none of these guys, Mitch Trubisky signed a 5-year deal, $85 million, $50 million. None of these, it's all 2-year deal. So they just got in here just to try to keep the team going, right? Hopefully get a somewhat successful offense going on. But none of these teams have signed any of these guys to. The Giants haven't picked up the 5th-year option on Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor's 2 years. Trubisky's 2 years. Jameis Winston's 2 years. Drew Lock is this is one and done. Mariota's 2 years. So all these teams, they're getting quarterback in with some experience and all that. It can run an offense. Maybe not take them to a Super Bowl, but run an offense, right? And just get them in for a couple years, and then it seems like they're looking for quarterbacks. So that's that bids very, very well for the Giants. Now it seems like I said the top 2 are Malik Willis, who has a lot of upside to him. But can also be a project too. All right, and he sort of his pro day. He had this impromptu, threw the ball, kind of wasn't planted or nothing, threw 65 yards or so. The dude caught it, right in the back of the end zone and all, great pass, But then sometimes he's a little bit of a project. Sometimes you see the tape and he maybe throws the ball, but his feet aren't planted, or maybe they're pointed the wrong. He's open this way, but he throws the ball back over that way, or he's got to work on the fundamentals. But the upside is up there. So it's going to be very difficult just to draft him and just plug and play. So, I mean, but, you know, he's got a lot of upside to him. So there's a lot of buzz about him, right? Nice guy, real nice guy. Yeah, so. And then the other one is Kenny Pickett, okay, as well, who had a great pro day. The Giants were both of them, right? Kenny Pickett apparently has, has a problem with hand size. I don't know. They were measuring his hand size. I don't know, it was at the combine, and then at his pro day, his hand size grew like a quarter of an inch or something. I was reading. I don't know, but apparently he did a very, very good job at his pro day. So that does nothing but help the Giants out. So there's two quarterbacks that, that teams can maybe fall in love with and maybe want to trade up for, maybe trade with the Giants. That would be huge. Because there's no, why trade down to number 4 with the Jets, right? They're not looking for a quarterback. When you can trade, because it's going to cost you more. I mean, if you're the Falcons at number 8 and you want to trade down to the Jets at number 4, well, why? I mean, you could. But it's going to cost you more draft capital, right? Trade with the Giants at number 5. It'd be a little bit cheaper, right? You won't have to give up as much, and you can jump in front of Carolina and all those other teams. Right, so, the Giants might be in a really, really good situation here. Especially if you look, too, all right, just say the Giants pick number 5. Say Neal is there, and they got their tackle. Carolina goes, and they go quarterback. They take Malik Willis. Now, Kenny Pickett, from what I've been reading and all that and everything, is basically the last man standing. All right, I don't know if any of these other quarterbacks are going in the top 10. I haven't seen anybody say anything at all about these other quarterbacks going anywhere near the top 10. So maybe Pickett goes, right? So, but maybe I'm saying, so number 7, Pickett is the last quarterback. You got 5 teams, right? If you got the Falcons, you got the Seahawks, you got the Commanders, you got the Saints, and you got the Steelers. You got those 5 teams. Maybe wanting to all jump up number 7 to get Pickett. Maybe. Right? So, the Giants could be in a really, really good, or if the Giants draft somebody, say they take Neal, say Kayvon Thibodeau goes to Carolina at number 6. Now the Giants at number 7, right? Now there's 2 quarterbacks, right? One of these teams might want to jump up. Instead of waiting for the Falcons maybe to draft a quarterback, you got all these teams maybe jumping up to number 7. Right? So, the Giants could be in a really, really advantageous spot. Two picks. Let's not forget, got to thank Dave Gettleman for getting pick number 7, right? So, it would really, really work out well for the Giants, right? As I said, so Kenny Pickett did a very good job. So, then you guys said you got Desmond Ridder, right, from Cincinnati. He could possibly go in the first round, so maybe the second. He spent 4 years at Cincinnati. Many say in the draft that he's the most NFL-ready quarterback, like in this class, like right now. Okay, maybe not the highest ceiling or whatever like that, but the most ready quarterback right now. Okay, but as I said, I haven't heard anybody saying he's going in the top 10. So I'm saying we're looking at maybe, maybe if he winds up making it to the Steelers or Saints, maybe they take him there. I don't know, but I'm saying, what I saw was like maybe first, maybe second round, he might wind up going. Sam Howell, who, if we're going to judge him like on 2020, he was a hot commodity. He kind of cooled off a little bit in 2021. All right, I heard he might be a first rounder as well too. All right. He's great at attacking downfield. He's a very good runner. Okay, as well. But sometimes, what I was reading is that he could be like a one and done. Sometimes he only does like one read, and if it's not there, he takes off and runs. Now sometimes that can work in the college. That may not always work in the pros. Okay, especially when you have. Everybody's as fast as you are, if not faster. So he's a very good runner. All right, but that's not something you want the quarterback to be doing. All right, you want him in the pocket. But I said, so one of his problems, he's good arm. He can throw the ball downfield and all that. It's just that what I was reading. Okay, is that sometimes if his main receiver's over here, right, maybe running a sluggo, right. you know, he drops back and he looks at that. Oh, he's covered, and he maybe just takes off. So that's not ideal for the pros. All right, so then you got Carson Strong, all right, from Nevada. You know, I was saying he possibly maybe a second rounder, maybe not, late first, but what I was reading mostly would be like a second rounder, right? Strong pocket passer, very, very good, but he has some knee issues, all right, which could possibly, you know, have some teams shy away from him. He's kind of like very immobile. He's good in the pocket, you know. I can't remember exactly what the issue was with his, I don't know if it's his knee or knees, but he's got a problem with his knee, and it could possibly cut his career short. So that could obviously make some teams shy away from him, especially if they, you bring him in, you want to sign him for 5 years or something. I mean, he may not even make it that long. Depends upon his knees. So, but but he's a possibility. Somebody might want to draft him, but first or second round. Then after you start getting past some of those guys, you got a lot of guys kind of projected to go in like the third round or later after like Carson Strong. I mean Bailey Zappi from Western Kentucky. All right, Skylar Thompson from Kansas State, K-State. Jack Cohn from Notre Dame, my team. You got Dustin Crum from Kent State. Caleb Ellaby from Western Michigan. E.J. Perry from Brown. Oh, yeah. That offensive powerhouse, Brown, yes. I mean, a lot of those guys, what I was saying is that they're projected like the 4th, 5th round, later on. I mean, those would be like the possibly, if the Giants fall in love with any of those guys, it would be later on, a later on pick. I mean, they get in the 4th round, they got pick 112. I think that's for some of those guys like Bailey Zappi, Skylar Thompson, Jack Cohn, Dustin Crum, Caleb Ellaby, and E.J. Perry. I mean, those are like probably 5th rounders, maybe even on backs. I mean, the Giants have 2 in the 5th round. They got picks 147 and 173, and then in the 6th round they got 182. They don't have their 7th rounder because they traded B.J. Hill and their 7th rounder, I believe it was, to Cincinnati to get Billy Price. So that's why they don't have the 7th rounder this year. But they still got 9 picks, and if they trade back, they might even have more. But I mean, I said those are the quarterbacks. I mean, there's no way the Giants, with any of their first 2 first rounders, their second rounder, or 2 third, I can't see possibly any way the Giants draft a quarterback. As I said, the only way I can see is that maybe I don't even think they're even 4th round. I said maybe they're 5th, or maybe they're 6th rounder. They might draft a quarterback, as maybe some type of a backup. But that's the only way I can see. I said the other guys that come and play would be for the Giants. They'd wind up trading, for picks number 5 or pick number 7, and maybe move back in the draft and collect more draft capital, and hopefully some draft capital for next year, because if Daniel Jones doesn't work out, next year is the year, I don't want to say the year of the quarterback, but next year they're going to have some good quarterbacks coming out. And if the Giants got some firepower, shall we say, some draft capital firepower, and they can trade up and get one of those quarterbacks, that might really be the best for them. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time any day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!